Greetings, Rocketown Church, coming to you from Kentucky. I'm currently here helping my dad. He's has some issues here that I'm working with him, trying to help him through. I appreciate your prayers on that. So unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to the mission banquet October 9th. I do plan on being back down in Florida, hopefully before I return to Malta, and would love to come see everyone there at Titusville at Rocketown Church. Hopefully that all works out. So I just want to start with thanks to everyone there. Thank you, Pastor Steve and April. Thank you, Pastor Sam. And just to give you a ministry update on what's been happening with the ministry to Malta to start the Teen Challenge discipleship ministry there. The last 4 years, I've been pastoring a church on a small island called Gozo. There's two islands in Malta. There's the main island, the big island, and then there's a much smaller island called Gozo, which population of around 14,000 people there. And I moved over there to assist I had the opportunity to obtain a building for the Teen Challenge Residential Discipleship Ministry, and that was my initial reason for moving to Gozo and assisting the church that meets there. There's a group of believers, and it fluctuates between 15 to 30 people depending on the time of year and who's there. There's some seasonal people that are only there for certain months out of the year. And then of course COVID affected the church with the stopping and the starting. We had two shutdowns. Of course, the first shutdown in 2020, then the restrictions loosened, and then they tightened the restrictions back down again, and we had to stop our meetings. So I was assisting the church there, preparing the building for the Teen Challenge ministry. Unfortunately, that never materialized. That still may materialize in the future, but right now, we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with that property there in Gozo. But I stayed there to assist the church. When I got there, my brother Joseph, who's from West Africa, from Ghana. He was there by himself, trying to keep things going with the church. He has a wife and child. Well, now he has two children in Ghana. He was still works 6 days a week construction to provide for his family back home. And so it was a big blessing for him that I came and was able to assist him with his Bible studies. I work with the Bible school with the Maltese director of Global University in Malta. It's Global Institute of Theology, Malta. So I assisted him with the school, also with teaching and training of students that were enrolled in Berean School of the Bible. So I still work with, we had have 4 students in Gozo, 4 in Malta. And I was able to assist Joseph with his studies and assist him with the church. And he went to Ghana just before COVID hit, and he was able to get there and see his family. But when COVID hit, he was unable to return. So he was stuck in Ghana. I was stuck in Gozo, which turned out for good because they really needed the help there, and I was able to assist them and continue with the prayer meetings and the Bible studies and the worship services on Sunday. Of course, we had to do that online for a while, but I was able to keep all that going and keep the doors open for the church when the church was able to start meeting in person again. And also around the same time, the senior pastor, the Maltese pastor, who lives in Malta, but he was the senior pastor for the church in Gozo. He had some heart issues, and he was out of commission for quite a while around the same time. So it was really good for me to be there in Gozo and to assist the church. It was really needed. But here recently, the developments are the Maltese pastor got his health back. He's able to travel to Gozo, be more hands-on with the church. So that enabled me to have the freedom to return to Malta and begin back with the street evangelism, the street ministry, and weekly discipleship meetings using Living Free. Before I came to Gozo, that was going really good and strong, but unfortunately, when I was unable to keep that going, unfortunately, that work kind of fizzled out. Of course, COVID really put an end to a lot of those ministries that were going in Malta, and without me having the ability to be there hands-on, it just really fell apart. So I'll be going back to get that going again with the street evangelism, street ministry, the weekly discipleship meetings with Living Free, and also begin what Teen Challenge calls it coffee house ministry, which means getting a storefront or a room somewhere in the city where there's a lot of activity on a main road, or maybe it's off the main road, and begin use that as a base for evangelism, a meeting place, connect with people in the community, meet their needs, whatever that might be, whether they need clothing, shoes, food, connect them with any services that might be able to assist them, and also let them know that the times that the coffee house is open, that they can come there and receive assistance or prayer or someone to talk to or somebody just to listen to them, and do begin weekly chapel services where they would come and receive a meal, a physical meal, and give them a spiritual meal where they would be praise and worship, and somebody would minister the word to them, and begin building relationships with those people, and look for those that are truly looking to follow Christ, and at that point look for a location, a home where we could bring those people in and begin to disciple them and teach them the Bible, and teach them how to walk with Christ and be a witness for the Lord there in Malta. So there's great opportunities. There's a lot of good work that's been done. While I was in Gozo, I met people from all over the world. I've lost count. It was, last time I tried to count, it was close to 40 nations people that I'd met and been able to share the gospel with. Made some great relationships with some of the local people there. And I originally went to Malta because I had a burden for Muslims. I wanted to share the gospel with Muslims, and I met people in Gozo that were from some Central African and Eastern African countries that are really hard for missionaries to get into, like countries like Chad and Sudan, Congo, in Central Africa, East African countries like Eritrea and Somalia, North Africans, people from the Middle East, from Syria. Just an amazing opportunity to evangelize the nations from just Malta and Gozo. Those little islands are just populated with so many different people from Nepal, Tibet. I mean, I could go on, Pakistan, India. I could go on and on about that. Just the great opportunities to evangelize the nations there. So again, thank you for your continued prayers and financial support. And like I said, hopefully I'll be able to get up there to see you maybe sometime in October, near the end of October. Just really regret that I couldn't be there to be with your mission banquet. Really appreciate you extending the invitation. So again, thank you all very much, and look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.